Imagine is a 3-year project using the arts to enrich the lives of older people in some of Nottingham's care homes, including the Nottingham Hospice and Radford Daycare Centre. It aims to better involve them in the wider community and helps and supports them to connect with people of all ages. This programme is one of 4 nationally to be awarded money from Arts Council England and the Baring Foundation's Arts and Older People in Care Fund. The programme is being run by a consortium including the Abbeyfield Society, Nottingham City Council, City Arts, and includes arts organisations from across the city. Academic researchers from the University of Nottingham are evaluating the programme.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Very clever, isn't it?
City Arts is managing the Imagine programme and has a track record of producing ambitious and exciting art in collaboration with different communities, believing that everyone has the right to enjoy and create great art.
And so what we will do, we'll put some things in it. You can use your hands like that.
Older people can often feel isolated and socially excluded. Art can promote a sense of identity and offers new opportunities for self-expression, improving confidence and help people build new friendships. We may take for granted the easy access to the arts, but for some, this is not the case at all. One strand of the Imagine programme has been working with the DET, the Devonshire Educational Trust, at Chatsworth House, developing a virtual tour and creating several short films of their outstanding art collections.
Here we are at Chatsworth.
Home to the Duke and Duchess of Devonshire, Chatsworth sits in 400 hectares of parkland in the heart of Derbyshire's Peak District National Park. Thousands of visitors each year come to see some of the 300 rooms, each packed full of prestigious art and artefacts, collected over hundreds of years.
And this room is a very good example of exactly...
Using pieces from this vast collection, the Imagine project, in partnership with Chatsworth House, have created the Armchair Gallery Grand Tour.
This is a portrait of our daughter-in-law, Laura Burlington. I'm fascinated by this portrait.
In each film, the Duke and Duchess share some of their favourite and most inspiring pieces of artwork.
I want to show you now one of the treasures of the library. This is just one volume of 4 volumes made by an American artist called John James Audubon. And he painted all the different birds that he could find in America.
What country do you think they're from, Mimi? Where do you think they're from?
Well, this area.
This area?
The films are currently being shown in care homes and other locations. Each is hosted by an artist who guides the residents using the storytelling model Time Slips, using the gift of people's imagination and own unique experiences.
Very elegant, that purple and pink.
It is beautiful, very beautiful.
Yes.
That's it, now like that. Ready?
These short films are being used in a number of different ways, depending on the skills of the artist leading the session.
Today we're working with Lucian Freud's amazing portraits that are at the Chatsworth House.
So these portraits, to us, they are really important because they portray my immediate family so brilliantly. The one of my mother particularly, called Portrait of a Woman in a White Shirt, is not as sad as it sometimes looks when you first see it.
And the thing that most interested me about them, and that I really wanted us to kind of explore, was this idea of kind of the plasticity of skin. So I think a lot of his paintings almost look like the skin is stretched. And to really observe kind of the colours within that skin. We've got all this colour, this meaty colour of the greys and the pinks and the oranges, all those hues, but there's the touch of the skin as well. I think he captures so well. He does this in his wonderful paintwork. It's really kind of stripped, isn't it? Like you can imagine him using a palette to really stretch the paint across. I was interested in how if we were physically moulding out plasticine and stretching it, we could recreate this idea of
Looking like in the picture, she's looking like that.
the skin
And what happens when you take them off and they get mixed up together? What happens then? Spoil her face altogether.
It creates quite a nice effect though, where you see the colours mixing.
Because at some points the skin becomes, there's a transparency to it and a translucency as well as this range of colour. So the idea that we could pull kind of plasticine across with our hands and create this movement within the skin that kind of replicates the feel of the paint.
We're just experimenting with colours and materials. It's amazing what the same 4 colours can do.
When he was getting that depth, this is what he would do with the paint.
That's really nice.
Flesh colour, heart.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is an idea of drawing, but kind of drawing with light, but taking away. For me, there's something really sculptural about the way Freud kind of paints. I was interested in the way that light hits each part of the face and the body, and his flesh that becomes quite sculptural. So I thought to draw in quite a sculptural way would be interesting. So in this way of drawing, we start to bring the light out like it's kind of almost like we're carving into. So rather than adding, we're taking away with just an eraser.
Have you seen this?
We're just starting to take out the main areas where the light hits just with the eraser. So when we draw, it's normally an additive process. So we add things. We add charcoal or, pencil or whatever it is. But with this process, we're taking away. And then once you've taken out the main areas, I would normally spend obviously a lot longer on this.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be me.
It's supposed to be, yeah. I think after a while we might get there. But drawing each other, yeah, I think we should give it a go, see what we end up with. So as we take away elements, this is the light, and through that the form emerges. Maybe if you snap your charcoal in half, it might be easier to handle. What fascinated me was less the outcomes, so what the participants created, and more the process and the journey they had in thinking about what they were doing. Who's your subject, Barbara? Who's your subject? Ah, Charlie. Fantastic. Okay.
She's not very flattered.
No, it's you've really taken the light out well here. Light's hitting her cheek here as well, and around here. Do you see where the light's hitting her cheek there? So maybe take that out.
I'm afraid it's not much like you, Charlie.
Really great.
Got a little bit of you in it, do you think?
Not like me.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
They bring out house and they're good. It's formed by the grey, isn't it? I watched a woman staring at her subject for a long time, just figuring out where the light hit his face.
That would be good.
What she came up with is really ghostly and quite melancholy actually. Just amazed by the amount of time she spent observing and looking, and then the figure starts to emerge.
By using digital technology, the Imagine project is giving older people increased access to the arts.
But can anyone else see the greys and the blues in the skin?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I think
But so that's the grandmother.
So the man that was just speaking, that was him when he was younger.
It's a bridge across a current digital divide, giving many older people their first introduction to the internet and the use of apps, in turn promoting social inclusion and developing new skills.
So, when you look at this picture, what can you see?
And this is only a small part of the overall 3-year Imagine programme.
Much harder for people to grasp, so why would you bring an artist through the door?
But even then, after 3 years, it won't end there.
So the aim of the project is to sort of...
All the outcomes and feedback gathered from those taking part in this project will be shared with care homes, day centres and arts organisations across the country. Not only recognising Nottingham's significant contribution to this area of research, it also shines what some might say is a much-needed spotlight on older members of our community. The need to continue their access to a cultural entitlement, valuing not only their past life experiences, but also recognising their continued zest for life.